teach you today how to paint some rocks and 3 easy steps to get you started. That's what I do. I do videos for acrylic paintings for beginners. I also have some boulders here, and what I do is I teach you to paint step by step, real time, so that you can paint along with me. So let's get started. Now here we are, 3 steps to painting rocks. So here's the brushes that I'm using. You can, if you have some flat brushes, that'd be great. I'm just using a flat sable or synthetic brush, and they're only size half, it says a half, but I mean they're all have different numbers on them because of different brands. And I have a fan brush, and I have a bristle brush, and that's another small one, probably a 2. And I have a long liner brush, and I have another small bristle and another smaller liner brush, and I have a palette knife. Now you don't have to have all this, it's just that I want to try to show you some techniques, and we're going to do it first of all in our 3-step method. And what I have here are paint. The paints that I have are the primary colors. I always have the primary colors on there because you can use them for all kinds of colors. So I just have the red, yellow, and green, and blue, brown, black, and white. And the primary colors are red and yellow and blue. And you can use cad yellow, cad red, ultramarine blue, or any blues, anything you have on hand, because not everybody has all those colors. You can use sap green if you like. Brown, you can use burnt umber, burnt sienna, and some white. And it can be whatever colors you have on hand, because you don't want to not be able to do your paintings because you don't have the colors that they say in the videos. As long as you got the primary colors and black and white, you're on your way. So let's first of all, I'm just doing this on a canvas. You can do this is only a paper that I did it on before. It's a watercolor paper. I'm going to use a canvas for the video. It's just a canvas board. And as you can see, sometimes I reuse them. So hopefully now I'll get this set up for you. And here we go. Okay, so we'll do our first rock and our first step. Now the first step is just to take some of your black paint. We're just going to start with a black underpainting for now. And just take a line, straight line like that, and then make a hump and fill it in. And that's the beginning of your rock. That simple, that quick. That's how fast I want to make it. So easy for you that you'll just love doing rocks. So I'm going to do 2. So I'm going to do 1. Did that one there. And I'm going to do another one basically the same, because I want to show you the wet on wet and dry on wet, dry brushing on wet technique. So you can choose which one you find better for you. So let's get that done first. Good. So now you have 2 rocks. I'm going to let one dry. Okay, now that was your first step. So I wanted to do your first step, and now you take the same brush that you just used, which was your flat sable brush or synthetic, okay? And you can, now I said I wanted to have 1 wet and 1 dry. So the wet one here, we'll put the highlight. Your second step is put your highlights on. Okay, so with the highlights on the wet one, they might be a little harder to get. So just add white to your black paint and get a nice light gray. So just add, I'm just taking my dirty brush and going into white. Now give you a nice bright, there you are. And so you're going to start at the top of the rock. Now both of these are wet, so wet on wet. This is your wet on wet. And you'll put that up there like that. See how the bright then turns to a gray. So it's really hard to get the lighter version of your, there we go. Good. So that's one way. And then you can add a little more white to get it bright again. But it's a little harder because it's blending in with the wet paint, and it's also taking in some of the black paint, so it's a little more difficult to blend it out, so as you can see. But you still get your different shades and shadows and things. So that's your second step. So let's try to dry on wet. We'll try to dry brushing technique. So I'm going to use a bristle brush for this. I found bristles, they spread the paint around a bit better. So we'll try that. So let's pick up some of the gray paint, the light gray that you made, okay? And so what you're doing is you're dry brushing. So you put paint on your brush, and then you're going to take a bit of tissue and wipe off the paint, so there's hardly any paint left on it. And then you're going to take the top of your rock and you're going to scrub that highlight into your rock. Now see, because it's dry underneath, now you can scrub around without worrying about picking up. But still because it's so dark underneath, so if you pick up more white paint and wipe it off, then you go back over it again. And then, but it will be a little brighter for you. Make sure your brushes really don't have hardly any paint on it. That way you won't get too much paint on it, because you're going to cover up what's underneath, because the rock underneath is now dry. So there's the two techniques. That's your second step. And now your third step is to get your liner brush. A nice liner brush, and let's do our shadows and our cracks in the rock. So let's go in here. I'm looking for cracks. I can sort of see them. They're there, you know, you can always pick them out. You'll see them. So as you can see, we'll finish our cracks right here. So underneath, I'll just bring them up. It's almost like you can see them in the shadows that you made accidentally because you're just scrubbing your paint around, so things happen. And I can see a few little cracks going on. I might even make just a little one here and that way. And then these are nice over here. I got a few little cracks over here. And you can just play around so when you do your 3 steps, you can play around with your rock then after that, just to do some touch-ups and make it the way you want it. You can even add more highlights if you want to, okay? So you can take your brush again. Be good to have it over here so my arm won't get in your way. And so you can take your brush again, either brush. I like using the bristle brush because it kind of moves the paint around a bit. So you can even add, so after everything is dry, you can dry brush a little bit more paint on the top there, or you can, you know, just put a little bit more highlight. And where you think about where the sun is coming in, then you can put that highlight on that side, say. That way you'll have, the sunlight could be on this side, okay? So then you can put on a little more highlight after everything is done. After all your 3 steps are done, then you can do whatever you want with your rock. Just don't lose what you already did, okay? So just keep playing around until you get what you want. And so your third step will be to put on your shadows, and then after that, then you can do whatever you want. So you can just make some highlights, add a few little extra cracks, whatever you want to do. Find out where the sun is coming from, so make sure that's where you put your lightest value, we call it. Okay, your lightest highlight. So that's an easy way to do a rock. It's not so hard. It's just if you get your 3 steps, you'll be able to accomplish getting a rock done pretty fast. See, you can play around with it and do whatever you want. Make sure your brush is nice and dry when you're doing this part of it, okay? Because you can see that my brush is not dry enough. And I'm trying to show you about highlights, and here I am covering up all that nice work I just did. That's okay. I like experimenting. I like to experiment. It's fun. Okay, so let's move on to another rock. See, I can't stop painting. Isn't that cool? Good. A few little cracks there. I could spend all day painting my rocks. Alright, let's do another one. Now this time we will make a long flat rock. Big old long flat rock. Maybe like this one here. Let's try that one. Okay, so let's get our black. I'm going to get dark under. I'm going to take some blue and black this time. Blue, maybe even a bit of red. I think I'm just going to experiment with some colors for a bit of fun. Black and blue and red. Now I'm just going, this is only for the underpainting. And to make sure you can see it, let's see. There we go. This should do it. Okay, so we'll make a nice long line. And then we will get the shape. So probably it goes up like this. And maybe it goes down like this. And then pull it over. And fill it in. There we go. See how easy that is? All you're doing is getting your shapes. And now you can clean off your brush. Just wipe it off in your tissue. No need to go back into the water all the time. And then just add white to that color you just made. And we will then put that color on, start at the top and pull over something like you did over here, and then pull another one over here and another one here and a little bit over here, just wherever you think you need the highlight. And we need more white to highlight those. Just touch and pull. Good. Let's see. Yeah, we can take this one here, go straight over here, and this one, we need more white, pull over, maybe a little one inside here. See, that gives you that kind of a rock. Want more highlight? Let's put some on the top here. So you can, that might be too much. So you're going to clean your brush, dry it off, and then you're going to move it around. So I'm going to use my bristle brush for that because I like the way they move the paint. And I'm just going to move that in here. There we go. And then your third step, of course, is to darken up your cracks. Okay? So you can almost see cracks in there, right? So I can see one over here. And I can see one in here, and I'm going to push that back into the rock a little bit just to give it some shape. And then I'm going to probably bring this one over and up into this one here. And it gives you these nice little cracks. Yes. So, that's kind of a nice rock. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, so why don't we try another rock where you can make maybe 3 rocks out of one. So let's try whatever color you want. It can be black and blue again. Try put some green in there. I'm just mixing colors, nothing in particular. So I'm going to make this here, and then I'm going to make a hump and a hump and a hump. So you just fill it in. There we go. And you got more rocks instead of just one rock. So now you have several rocks. Well, 3. And then you're going to take your brush. So that's your first step. You got your shape of your rock, fill it in, made your humps and fill it in with your black or your blue or your greens or your yellows or reds, whatever colors you want. And now I'm just going to add white to that color that I made. White. And I'm going to take, pretending the sun can be on the left or the right, I'm just going to do so start at the top and you go pull down on the right, and over here, and over here, and over here. See, all kinds of rocks going on there now. So I'm just going to take my bristle brush again, and I'm going to clean it off. Make sure that it's dry enough so that it'll spread without spreading it too much. See how it softens it up a bit? You don't even have to soften up if you don't want to, if you want a rough look. So there we go, and you can put some in the back. And if you want to have a little bit of blue in the back for the shadow, you can do that too. Put some blue. Good, so that's a rock there, and you can also add a bit of white, and you can also make some little rocks down here if you want to, just by touching and pulling. There we go, touch and pull, and that gives you a few little bumps and rocks down here. You get lots of space down there. And if you want me to lighten that up there a little bit for you so you can see it, I'm just going to add a bit more white, like that. See? So now you got tons of rocks. So you can have as many rocks as you want. And then your third step, of course, is to get your dark colors and make a few cracks. So when you go in to make cracks, go in the dark areas and then just pull a little few into the rock itself. Okay. So say we have a shadow here, and we can pull it into the rock a little bit. Maybe one here. Like I say, don't always have to have cracks if you don't want them. So let's say just shadow here, and we'll just pull it into the rock. So let's see if I can get some more cracks in there. So I think that's a nice little crack there. And we have some shadows here. So I want to darken that. Bring it up here if you want to make some dark cracks, and then you can come to the front of this one and pull it over, pull it in towards the rock to get a bit of a different look to it. Good. Let's try some more. Now I'm going to try a rock for you that we can use a fan brush on. So let's take a nice dark color. You can go with your brown again, or any colors that you want. You can even go with green and orangey color, bit of red. Leave out the brown, and that will get a nice purplish greenish color. So let's see what that looks like. We're just playing around. So let's do our first step, which is the line. Good, there's your line. And now you want to get your shapes. So let's go with a straight line up and over and down. I'm just picking shapes. So you have tall rocks and short rocks and fat rocks and skinny rocks, okay? And you can shape it up as you go along. Okay? You can probably bring a little ledge out there if you want to. Maybe another little ledge out here, you know. So once you get your basic done, then you can shape it up a little bit, and there's the beginning of your rock. Now let's try the fan brush. This should be fun. So let's go with the fan brush, and let's just take some white and add it to those colors that you just made, okay? All you do is take the colors that you made and add white. That should brighten it up enough. And then to the right, because I'm left-handed, I'm always going to the right. Okay, so let's put the highlight over here with the fan brush, just for a change. Alright, so that's not bad. You know, it gives you some nice, I'm just scraping it. I don't have a lot of paint on there. Just scraping it on. A little bit down here, and I made a jump so I could leave some highlights. Some shadows, I should say. So, I'm going to add more white to my brush and see what we can get from this. Alright, so we're just scraping that on, give it kind of a rough look. A little strange looking, isn't it? Ooh. Now, that's your highlight. So, let's see. So, let's go in here, soften it up. Softening it up is what really makes it look nicer. Good. See? That's much better. See? There's your highlights. So when you get a really weird looking highlights and they don't look right, go ahead and take your bristle brush, clean it off nice and dry, and then just gently scrub at what you got done. As long as it's still a bit wet, you'll be able to smooth it out. Okay? See? And that gives you a nice softer look. Good. So now you can take a smaller brush if you like. Now we're on our second step doing our highlights, so you can play with those all you want. And because the sun is over here, we'll just throw in a couple of more little highlights. Just go with white on top of what you already got done. And a few little white ones. So what you're doing is you're adjusting and touching up what you like. If you smooth it out too much, then you can go back and put in a few extra highlights. And you can also put in a few extra rocks down here by touch and pull. That makes it look like a rock right there. And just put in a little rock down here. That's all. Just pick out some spots that you think maybe there are rocks there, and bumps and lumps. And that could be a little rock here, little one here, here. So you just touch it with your brush and see what happens. Okay? It gives you all kinds of things. So you just play with that and get some rocks at the bottom there. And now you can do your third step by getting a really dark paint. Make sure you got some dark paint. You want it to be dark enough. Even if you got to add a little bit of black to that color, the darkest color that you made. And just put in, find your shadows. See them? See the shadows there? Here. Here. Just find those shadows. Work your way up into the rock. Underneath that rock there to bring it out a bit more. And over here. And up into that rock. Might be something here. So look for those shadows, and then you won't have so much trouble trying to find where to put some of those cracks and shadows. Okay? So, that's a cute little rock. It's not amazing, but it's cool if that was in with a bunch of other rocks. Wouldn't it be nice? Different, isn't it? Okay, so just keep on checking out. Oh, sorry. So sorry. So that's not a problem. So you just take, which is good. So say you did that and you're going, oh no, I ruined my rock. Well, all you got to do is take that and scrub it in with your rock. Take the back of your rock and make it a little bigger. Add another section. There we go. Not too bad. You add a little section to it there. As long as you get, and you got the basics, you know you make your straight line, right? There we go. And then you can just take a little bit of that and extend that out a little bit. And you got lovely. Okay, so that's that rock, and that's a nice cool rock just by fooling around with your brushes. As long as you got the 3 steps, you should have no problem. Now I got this one done, and I wanted to show you, try using your palette knife to get some little ledges, okay? So use some white and some of those colors. Pick any color that you want. That's kind of a grayish color, so you can go in with a grayish color. You can probably add a little bit of blue or green to it or something if you want some color. And if you want to make a little cliff, you just put a little bit of paint on your corner on your brush, on the sharp edge here. And just pick a spot on your rock where you want a ledge and just touch and pull over and pull down. Okay? Just a little ledge. And probably make that a little darker because you don't want to make it look odd. So I'm just going to pick a place where I want a ledge. There we go, that's better. A little bit of white, a little bit of black. You might have to adjust your paint so that you can see it. See the ledge? Isn't that cool? So that's how you make a ledge on your hills or your rocks, okay? Like the taller rocks. I'll get it a little bit brighter for you so you can see it. There we go. Little ledges. So you have a little ledge up here, you know. So these little ledges are kind of nice to make with the palette knife. You make a little bit of a highlight on there. Go back over and go boom. And you got a nice ledge. So I just thought I wanted to show you that. You can also, let's see what else we can do with the palette knife. Say that little one right here. It's already done. You can take a bit of white, different colors on the tip of your palette knife. And just add some highlight with the tip of your palette knife. And that'll give it more texture. There we go. Just to get a little more texture in your rock, that's all. There we go. I went outside the rock. So if you do that, you'll get a little more texture. And just scrape it on, but try not to use too much paint because you'll end up covering up what you already have, especially where the rock is dry. And if you end up making too much, then go back with your brush and just put on a little more dark color to bring back in some of those cracks. Yep. And just play around with it till you get what you're looking for. See? You can do all kinds of things. Once you get those 3 steps done, you can have a lot of fun with rocks. I really enjoy rocks. Teaching it on video is a little harder. When I can sit down for hours and play and go play with rocks and everything, but when I'm trying to do a video, I find it a little bit harder doing videos because I can't really take my time. I don't want to be here all day boring you with some little things that I'm doing. So, but I'm trying to give you as easy steps as I can, okay? Easiest techniques so that you can get started and then you can go from there. It's like taking the baby steps, then I'm going to let go. Once you get a few of your baby steps over, then I'm going to let you go and then you are on your own. Not really. I'll show you all kinds of stuff. But it's fun playing around with the rocks. See, look, I got a really strange looking rock there, didn't I? Nice. So now I'm going to try, let's try some boulders and see how that works out. So that's it for the rocks, and I could do tons more. Like I said, if you have any requests for certain rocks, let me know and I'll do them for you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed doing the rocks and having some fun. So lots of fun, lots of experimenting. Just do your 3 steps and keep on rocking. Happy painting, everybody, from Allison Pryor. Subscribe and like.